get you on about originally. Webster, stop. Exactly. In fact, when the crews come and interview you again, final interview for the film, I've done 17 now with other people, Holdren comes out with a textbook about forced abortion, forced sterilization, putting stuff in the water, CPS to take all kids to raise them in government hive buildings. I mean, it actually, everything in one document we already knew. Tell me about that.
Well, I've got his book, Eco Science, and it's co-authored with Paul Ehrlich. Paul Ehrlich was the professor at Stanford University, an absolute crackpot and charlatan, his most famous book is The Population Bomb, and he was talking about a worldwide population explosion, and now here we are 35, 40 years later. There has been no such thing. As a matter of fact, the population in many parts of the world is falling. Certainly in European Union, it's falling. In Japan, it's falling. In the U.S., it would be falling if it weren't for immigration. So this is Holdren. He's basically a partner of the discredited crackpot Paul Ehrlich, and indeed, this is what they write about: coercive, involuntary measures to prevent population growth, to get into the area of compulsory sterilization, limits on families, special taxes. In other words, it's a liberal totalitarian nightmare that they write about. Then you get
it's a control freak orgy of just absolute pin-headed vampirism, and I declare eternal war against these people.
Yeah, sure, and that's clear. In other words, you can't have a health program created by these people. However, let me hurry to stress, the reactionary Republican agenda is also fairly clear. They would like to destroy Medicare, destroy Social Security.
It's another form of eugenics.
It's a way of where you die, and it's in the name of the market. In other words, the Democrats come after you with a board that tells you have to die. With the Republicans, you die because the free market says you don't get any health care.
Yeah, you died on the street. But the problem is the state is so eugenics run that any government system, if we were angels and gave people health care, the establishment would seize it up and use it as a weapon to start stabbing us. So it's just damned if you do, damned if you don't.
If you owe the IRS, you can't make the problem go away without professional help. But with the help of Dan Pilla, you can get your problem solved.
Hi, I'm Dan Pilla, and I've been solving tax debt problems for 30 years, and I can help you too. We can stabilize IRS collection action and get your tax debt reduced, sometimes completely eliminated. And if you received a 1099 from a bank because of mortgage or other debt forgiveness, the vast majority of the time, I can show you how to completely erase it so you pay no taxes on what the IRS will consider to be taxable income. Call us for a free consultation to discuss the many possibilities. Call 1-800-34-NO-TAX. That's 800-34-NOTAX. Or go to my website at taxhelponline.com.
Dan Pilla has been protecting taxpayers from the IRS for 3 decades, and he can help you. Call us today, 800-346-6829. That's 800-34-NO-TAX.
It is a big idea, a new world order.
In the near future, Earth is dominated by a powerful world government.
It's known as the Bilderberg Group. Could their objective be world domination?
For thousands of years, their dark order grew. Now, as they hail the birth of the New World Order, their great dream of exterminating 80% of humanity is at hand. For the first time in history, the elite's plan for world government is blown wide open. You will learn the secret that drives the entire New World Order agenda.
Bilderberg is making great progress toward a world government.
Most people have no idea. They're not after money. They have all the money they need. They're after power. That's their aphrodisiac.
Order Endgame on DVD at prisonplanet.com or Infowars.com, or watch it online right now at prisonplanet.tv. Endgame, blueprint for global enslavement. You have been warned.
Millions of Americans are beginning to realize the enormity of the economic and political problems facing the U.S. and the world. And for the first time in their lives, they are feeling the need for preparedness. Ready Reserve Foods has been in continuous operation, manufacturing the finest and dehydrated foods for almost 40 years. Ready Reserve is the manufacturer. Unlike other companies that just broker canned foods, Ready Reserve controls the quality from start to finish with double enameled cans and nitrogen packaging. When purchasing from Ready Reserve Foods, you are buying factory factory direct at wholesale prices. Other companies are quoting delivery times of 1 to 2 months, while Ready Reserve ships within 5 business days. Many companies do not even offer a catalog. We will be more than happy to send a catalog to you free of charge. Dial 1-800-453-2202, 1-800-453-2202, or visit our website at ReadyReserveFoods.com. Factory direct wholesale pricing from Ready Reserve Foods. Call us at 1-800-453-2202.
We're coming straight on for the New World Order. Webster said we have a lot of listeners in Germany. He was just telling me that the show's really having an effect. So is Webster, all of us together. His newest book is Surviving the Cataclysm, a compendium of the globalist activity, their banking, what they're doing, how to protect yourself. This is a great book. We just got it in the bookstore. It just came out. Surviving the Cataclysm, available at Infowars.com or by calling 888-253-3139. Webster, we ordered 3 copies of Eco Science. None of them came. It all sold out. They returned our money. But I got to a university, was able to print off a e-version. But you went to the library, you were telling me, got the actual textbook. And you were saying during the break, this is the Rosetta Stone, the compendium of all their sickening eugenics. Break that down for folks, what we're facing under the scientific dictatorship.
Well, this is now John Holdren, who is the official White House science advisor to Obama, special assistant to the president for science policy. It's the office in the new executive office building. This person is, frankly, a genocidalist. He is an extreme Malthusian, and the book in question it's a large textbook. It's more than 1,000 pages, and it's co-written by Holdren with Paul Ehrlich. Now, Paul Ehrlich, E-H-R-L-I-C-H, this was a professor at Stanford University. The most famous book that he wrote was called The Population Bomb, meaning that there was going to be this huge increase in world population, that this would become unsustainable and world civilization would collapse into chaos. Now, this is simply baloney. The guy is a crackpot and a charlatan. There never was a population explosion. Right now, population rates in Europe, Japan, and other parts of the world are going negative. In other words,
1.2, 1.3. So for every 2 parents, they're having 1.3 kids. It's the complete death of advanced Western cultures.
And in Russia. So many key parts of the world are actually in negative population growth. Now, this is what they wanted. So Holdren writes it with Ehrlich and Ehrlich's wife. So it's a textbook, and it has everything in it. It's their view on production, technology, agriculture, population, demographics, the entire thing. And it's all signed by this guy Holdren, who's now in the White House. And what we have is compulsory sterilization, compulsory vasectomies, forced sterilization, limits on families, and again, all of this with the idea that zero population growth, ZPG, as they call it in the book.
Binary
ZPG.
Chemicals in food and water, so the elites don't get it,
right.
but we do.
Oh, yes, sticking all kinds of substances in food and water. Again, vasectomies are good. Sterilizing women is good, but it's more complicated and costs more. All kinds of police state measures. They actually have a table of all the different things you can do and how effective they're going to be and how totalitarian and dictatorial they are. I think this person is a huge target for public resentment and indeed public political education to understand what this is, because this is putting a true fanatic, a true charlatan, crackpot, fanatic supporter of what amounts to genocide, because that is what it means when you start lowering.
But is this not just a window into the main agenda? Because, Webster, you know we're on the same page in Endgame. I make the point, every time I kick open the final door, it's eugenics. I mean, that's these guys' religion. And a lot of other top scientists and professors are now saying the same thing. In fact, it was in the British news and Canadian news today that people, I think, are starting to get this.
I would say the eugenics is one of the foundations of their ideology, in the sense that they're an oligarchy. They need a way to define the majority of humankind as bestial or subhuman, and indeed that's what they do. So therefore, they are the elite, but you are a candidate for eugenics and population reduction.
Yeah, folks, this isn't a game. It's happening. Get the book, Surviving the Cataclysm, at Infowars.com or 888-253-3139. And get the Obama deception that Webster Tarpley's in. Webster, I want to have you back up next week for a full hour to take calls. Great job. Let me say bye to you at the end of the show right now.
Thank you,
Key info. Thank you, Webster. Key info coming up in the retransmission and the internet streams, Infowars.com.